And WWE probably would have like, just hold on, even though you can move towards the ropes, and the ropes is right here, and you're like, right here, you can move. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 7 Days Podcast, where this week we're going to be talking about what happened at Hell in a Cell, Monday Night Raw, AE Precious W. And I will not be talking about NXT because I barely watched the show, so I need to watch the whole show to understand everything that's going on. But also, we got the draft coming up. I did not obviously watch the draft yet because I'm pre-recording this before the draft. So, obviously, when you're watching this show, you know, things are going to be a bit old. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to review AEW, and then we're going to talk about what's coming up with the draft and everything else. You know, it's very hard for me to make a WWE draft video, mainly because I don't know what's going to happen. Honestly, I feel like I'm wasting my time if I do make a video where, oh, this one can go to this brand and that one can go to that brand, because it doesn't matter where whoever goes where, because when you got Vince McMahon laughing in the backstage area at the crowd's reaction to what happened at Hell in the Cell, then anything is possible, and we're just going to have a bad WWE. So, I'm going to review AEW at the moment, because a lot of stuff happened on that show. AEW Dynamite this week, the second episode on TNT and TSN, was live in Boston, Massachusetts, in the Agnes Arena. Took me a while to realize that, but yeah, Agnes Arena in Boston, Mass, at 8 p.m. Eastern sharp. The show started, you know, JR welcoming us to the show, bringing up the Private Party versus Young Bucks match in the tournament, the first match of the tournament for the AEW World Tag Team Championships that will be crowned, I don't know when, I think about 4 weeks from now, but then again, I don't know if are they gonna crown it at the pay-per-view at Full Gear? I don't know. I think so. Most likely. Because, like, there's a lot of matches to get through. There's, like, at least 7 matches or 6 or... Yeah, 6, 7 matches to get through. Because I believe the Dark Order got a buy-in in the tournament. So, a lot will be happening in the next couple of weeks on Dynamite. So, we begin the show. They also bring up the fact that Jericho will team up with Sammy Guevara, who took on Cody in a great opening match last week on the first episode of Dynamite. Teaming up together against the likes of Dustin Rhodes and Hangman Page. You had Pac on the show as well. A lot happened on this show. Now, I won't lie to you. Maybe it's because it was all of the hype from last week's episode. Going into the show, I was hyped, and then as the show went on, for some reason, for me at least, right? I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna sugarcoat anything. I honestly felt like the show kind of, you know, it dimmed a bit. It's like it was like last week. It was like bright as fuck, bright as hell, right? Awesome. And then this week, it's like, you know what? That brightness is a bit too bright. Let's dim it a little bit. That's what that was this week for me, at least. That's how I felt. I'm not gonna say anything was bad. I just felt like the women's tag match. I felt like the only thing that I cared about in the women's tag match was not only the AEW Women's World Champion in Riho, but also you had Dr. Britt Baker and Bea Priestley. You know, based on their rivalry back at Fight for the Fallen earlier this year, where there was a brawl after the match. Dr. Britt Baker got a concussion throughout that match, so I'm interested and invested in that match, and a lot of people are saying that, well, I already thought about it in my head, that, well, I would like to see those two battle it out. Maybe on pay-per-view at Full Gear. You know, don't have to have the match on TV now. You could save it and build, and at Full Gear, we get the match on pay-per-view, and number one contender could be crowned out of those two right there. I mean, who else is in line? I don't see anyone else. So, there's that. But yeah, I felt like the women's tag match was a bit of a downer. Everything else was fine to me. it was just this week. Hopefully that will not be a constant. So, yeah, we begin the show. We begin Dynamite with another match. Look at that. Back-to-back weeks. We just start the show off with a match. No promo. You should learn something, WWE. You don't have to start the show off every goddamn week with a freaking promo. I'm just saying. So, anyways, we had the Young Bucks versus Private Party. This match, based on what everyone was saying at... I believe at a House of Glory pay-per-view. I forgot. I don't know which one it was entitled of, but I heard of it a lot. But based off their match and the hype around it at House of Glory, when they announced that this match was happening on TV, on AEW and on TNT and TSN, I was like, this is the one match I want to see so bad. And guess what? This match happened. Nothing I say will do this match any justice whatsoever. Okay? We had Nick and Cassidy get things rolling. I'm going to read it off here because whatever I say won't do shit for this match. So I'm going to read it off here. So Nick and Cassidy get things rolling. A lot of reversals at the beginning of the match. You know, avoiding the super kick is Cassidy. Then, you know, they had a little stalemate at times at the beginning. And, Nick spits his gum in the face of Cassidy. It was like, yeah, you may think you got... He just spit in his face. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, that's a fight. That's a fight. You ain't gonna spit gum in a man's face and not expect him to fight back. I'm sorry. It can't be done. He has to fight you. I'm sorry. So, Matt tagged in, and then they hit a flurry of double team moves on both Cassidy and Quen. Matt lends a double axe hand off the top rope. Nick back in, able to make a tag back in, and double stomps Cassidy's arm. And Nick sends Quen off the apron. Then they try for a double suplex. Cassidy lands on his feet, dumps Matt onto the outside on the floor. Cassidy ends up on the apron, kicks away Nick, and hits an Isai moonsault onto Matt. Quen tagged in and hits a massive springboard crossbody. Quen with how many dives, bro? Like 3 to 4 dives. Tope Con Hero on one side, Suicide on the other. He was just going Jay Lethal on their asses. Like, it was crazy. I still remember that match with Jay Lethal. He had a match with somebody, I can't remember who, but he had a match where he did 7 consecutive Tope Suicida dives, okay? Like, he just kept going on and on and on. He dives, got back in, dives, got back in. It was a constant. It was a constant, and I loved it. It was awesome. So whenever I see Seth Rollins do it, I'm like, it's not the same. It's not Jay Lethal. It's not epic. It's just so, whatever, right? So Quen hits a lot of outside dives, and a crossbody, a senton, and Fosbury flop going from one side to side, outside of the ring to the floor on each other's opponent. He brings Nick down, back into the ring and goes for a pin, 2 count. Young Bucks with a double super kick on Quen, and then Cassidy later on, he springboard and then caught him with a super kick. Nick with a bit of bloody nose, you know, Nick. Yeah, I saw something red. I'm like, oh, you got a bloody nose? I'm like, where did the blood come from? You know, like, where did the blood come from on your face? But yeah, bloody nose. Matt tries to go for a sunset flip powerbomb rather off the apron. Cassidy hangs on, but Matt runs with Cassidy all the way. He caught him in position. I believe Matt caught Cassidy in a powerbomb position, and he powerbombed him onto the steel ramp, which, by the way, looked painful as fuck, okay? This isn't WWE with those LED ramps, okay? Those garbage. I don't like those anymore. I really don't. Honestly don't. They don't look as painful when people slam them onto the ramp. It doesn't look painful. It doesn't look like... I mean, I get it. That's supposed to be painful, but come on! How you gonna sell me an injury of being slammed onto the LED board on the floor? But... And then, you know, I don't believe it. I'm sorry. But, like, the ramp, the steel, like, you see the steel, you see the pain on the face of Cassidy. Good on you. So you powerbombed him onto the ramp. Quen left alone in the ring. Powerbomb slice bread combo by the Young Bucks. Nick goes into a sharpshooter after Quen kicked out. He pulls himself into the ropes very quickly, by the way. He just rushed his way all the way to the ropes, which is smart. In WWE, he probably would have just hold on, even though you can move towards the ropes, and the ropes is right here, and you're like, right here, you can move, but no, he quickly got towards the ropes, okay? Crowd very much into the match, thank God. A lot have been on their feet once things picked up. Young Bucks really controlling the pace at the moment. Nick with the double foot stomp onto Quen as he went backwards over Matt Jackson's knees. Nick tries for a super kick. Quen blocked it and then throws his foot into Matt. I remember that very vividly. I can actually see it in my head of him doing that. Nick goes for a suicide dive. Tope Suicida onto Quen, at Quen. Quen sidestepped him, and Nick goes out of the ring. Quen looks to go for a tag, but Nick pulls Cassidy off the apron. Matt with a spear, able to get a cover, but a kick out of 2. Quen, throughout the match, at times, the Young Bucks would prevent. The Young Bucks were in control throughout the match. They were able to prevent Quen from making a tag to Cassidy. And then finally, I believe later in the match, Matt hit another sharpshooter on Cassidy. Quen get knocked out onto the floor. Cassidy tries to get to the ropes, but Nick flies with a springboard facebuster. Hits a moonsault on the Quen on the outside. Matt really locks it in deep, and then Cassidy able to make to the ropes. Blind tag by Quen. Matt and Nick has some miscommunication. Quen drops Matt and then hits a hurricanrana onto Nick, sending him off the top of the second rope into, BAM! A cutter by Cassidy. Quen goes for a huge sharpshooter. A beautiful, my God. The camera angle and the timing. The shooting star press look picture perfect. It's like, it was like Matt Sydal like beauty of a shooting star press. It was that good. Cover 1-2, big kick out. Able to kick out at the very last moment before the hit 3. Crowd thought that was it. People still standing for this one. Matt is able to almost set up the Meltzer driver. Cassidy yanks down Nick. Quen with a sneaky victory roll and was able to get to 1, 2, 3. And I popped huge. I was like, oh my God! Yes! I was like, yes! Because I look at Private Party the same way how I looked at the Street Profits, bro. I want these dudes to win the tag team titles very, very badly. And for them to go on and win this match, even though everybody predicted the Young Bucks would be the ones to win this tournament and go on to be the champions, which in my mind, I hope that was not the case, because you never know. You never know, right? I mean, yeah, it would be bad for business, low-key, because why would you hire all these talent and then for you to beat them all? I mean, that's just dumb, right? That's honestly a Vince McMahon move, if you ask me. Look at all the talent, look at all the people he brought back just to beat up his current talent, you know? So, it's a bad move, bad move. After that matchup, after Private Party celebrated throughout the commercial break, by the way, I appreciate that TSN had the side-by-side picture-by-picture on like Sportsnet, lazy asses. Anyways, AEW World Champion Chris Jericho comes out with his new buds, Guevara, Ortiz, Santana, and We the People, and Jake Hager. They all come out to the ring. Jericho calling Guevara a sexy young man, which I'm like, okay. I'm like, okay. Right? He said that he's on Jericho's list. He says Santana and Ortiz are nastier than they ever been. Back alley brutes, and they made the list. Viva La Raza, Eddie Guerrero reference, because on October 9th, I believe. Yeah, October 9th, it was the late great Eddie Guerrero's birthday. So, there you go. Shouts out to Eddie. And then he finally gets to Jake Hager, introducing him to the crowd. He was talking, going on to say that he was he's He's a tough guy. Look at him. He's tall. He's a giant. And then the crowd were chanting what I've been saying last week. We the people. They're chanting, we the people. And then Jericho says, hey, pipe down. You want to know something? Yeah, we the people was a stupid idea from bad creative, and it's dead and it's buried because it sucks. I'm just sitting there like, I'm just like, is he serious? Damn, because low-key I thought Taker was going to do the We the People. That's what I thought, but no. Jericho just buried the whole thing, saying it's a stupid idea from bad creative, and it sucks anyway. So, yeah, you got to give him that. That's crazy. And then he says that Hager is a MMA worker. He's a MMA star. He's undefeated. That's a shoe. And he introduced the stable as Jericho's Inner Circle, which I'm like, I gave it some time. By the end of the night, I accepted it. I gave it some time. I'm like, Inner Circle. I don't know how the internet's gonna feel about that, but how I feel about it, I'm just like, I guess, there's been worse names for tag teams. Kabuki Warriors, there you go. Or the Dicks, or, what's that boy band from WCW that Shane Helms was in? Yeah, that too. Anyways, the Inner Circle sounds cool to me. I like it. Jericho's Inner Circle, where he keeps his best buds, and last time he had a best bud, he got powerbomb on the apron for it and lost his title at WrestleMania. Anyways, that's a different story. That's a different Jericho. That is Y2 lame Jericho. This is the champion, the Painmaker Jericho. So, huge difference. He talked about Cody, saying he's not Cody nor his family. Called Dusty. So, Jericho is so good. I mean, I'm like, at first I was like, oh shit, like what is Cody think? Like, storyline wise and real life wise, I was like, okay, I mean, Dusty's dead, and Dusty's, has been highly received over the years while he's been gone, sadly. And for Jericho to be like, I don't like your dad, he's a jerk. I think he's a jerk. And I'm like, oh, okay. If you get shit for that, that's on you. That's not on me. And then Jericho later on said, he talked about Dustin Rhodes saying he's going to kick his ass later on in the show. And then Jericho says he's going to beat the ever-living shit, did not censor, out of Cody at AEW Full Gear. I love Chris Jericho. And I'm starting to say, or believe rather, I'm starting to believe that he is the greatest of all time. Because name a legend, as of now, that is fucking always, recreating himself. I can't find anybody at the moment. RVD wears the same clothes, smokes weed, and taking pictures of females' tits in his hand. So, there's nothing new about Rough and Down. Who else? What else? Undertaker does the same shit. Goldberg has done the same thing. Jericho is the greatest of all time. The Rock, not even The Rock. Yeah. Don't at me, okay? Not even The Rock can be in that conversation as far as greatest of all time. Greatest microphone, yeah. But everything else, because The Rock does the same thing. He comes out, if you smell, blah, blah, blah. He roasts people, and then he leaves. And he's not coming back for like 5 years again. So, Jericho has been a constant ever since leaving WWE 2 years ago. They gotta give the man that. So, I believe Jericho is the greatest of all time. I mean, I'm not saying that because he's Canadian, but, I mean, he is born from the United States. He grew up in Canada, but that's besides the point. Anyways, we move on. Forget that. We move on. Darby Allin taking on Jimmy Havoc. Now, this match was a bit lacking. I don't know why. It was a bit lacking, but it still had my interest. It still had my attention because a shot at the World Heavyweight Championship. It's on the line for next week's show, I believe, in Philadelphia. So Darby Allin taking on Jimmy Havoc. I'm like, oh, cool. That's cool. Actually, I like that because those two were from the Cracker Barrel Triple Threat on All Out, I believe, 2 months ago. So, yeah. Or a month and a half ago, rather. So, that's nice. So, they had a good match, back and forth. Darby Allin, in the end of the day, able to hit a flipping stunner and hit a coffin drop, which I think it's cool. I hope that he develops a different move throughout his career. I just hope he does not have to use. And I feel like, just like how people feel about Daniel Bryan using the diving headbutt as a scary move, I feel like Darby Allin using the coffin drop, I feel like that could fuck him up too. So got to keep that in mind. So he able to barely hit him and is able to pin him 1, 2, 3 and get the job done over Jimmy Havoc. Darby Allin able to go on to face Wyatt, the Painmaker, the AEW World Le Champion, Chris Jericho, for next week on AEW Dynamite. And by the way, AEW still able to get 1 million views, by the way, in the ratings. It went up over NXT. NXT got 790,000 views, while AEW got 1,018,000. So, good. They're keeping interest, which I'm happy about. NXT, for me, it's like, yeah, you're WWE. You're staying there. You're not going anywhere. Stop. You're not going anywhere. And the AEW can close their doors by the end of the year, for all I know. So, I'm giving them my support as much as I can. So, now we come to a tag team match that I mentioned earlier that I did not really have any interest in. I'm not going to lie to you. Outside of Baker, Priestley, and the champion herself, Rio. The match went on. I'm not going to lie. I faded in and out in this match. In the end of the day, Britt Baker able to lock in a Rings of Saturn mixed with the Mandible Claw submission hold on the Sakura and was able to make her tap out. Priestley tried to get into the ring and stop it, but I think Riho prevented that from happening, and the match was over. And then Baker and Priestley started to brawl it out after the match because there's still bad blood between the two following Fight for the Fallen. So there's that. Then we had Jennifer Decker talks to the best friends in the crowd who were watching the tag team match at the beginning of the show, scouting out their opponents, which I appreciate. I love that. Talking about going up against SCU next week in the tournament. Chuck says, don't ask them, ask this guy, who the camera pans over to Orange Cassidy, who gives a weak-ass thumbs up. I love Orange Cassidy, and I tweeted this out. I have no shame in saying this. Orange Cassidy has more charisma than Seth Rollins, and Orange Cassidy isn't even trying. Sad. So anyways, a match that I was low-key looking forward to, because this is practically a WWE match. Shawn Spears taking on Jon Moxley. Now, I saw Grim Story Show tweeted this on Twitter saying, what is this Raw shit? Oh, Dean Ambrose versus Ty Dillinger. Like, first of all, they never had a match in WWE. I know it! They never had a match on television between Moxley and Spears in WWE. Never, never, never. Because Ambrose was on Raw, Dillinger was on SmackDown. Even with the wild card rule, which actually that didn't come out until after they both left. So, yeah! Never fought. So, there you go. They're never on the same brand. So this is actually the first time they met inside the ring, at least to my knowledge. I don't know if they met before WWE many, many, many years ago, back in the 2000s, early 2010s. I don't know. So the match happens. At times, Moxley would be in control, and then Tully Blanchard would get involved to favor Spears. And then there was a point in the match where Shawn Spears had the referee distracted and was able to... Did Tully Blanchard push Moxley into the steel steps, which gave Spears an advantage. Spears was able to hit a Death Valley driver into the barricade. And then At times, you saw Spears hit a suicide dive onto Moxley on the outside, and he sends Moxley back in the ring while for some reason, he's taunting outside the ring. Moxley able to go full head of steam off the ropes, suicide dive onto Shawn Spears. They brought him back in the ring. Later in the match, able to hit the Death Rider, which is a double arm impaler DDT. They didn't give him a name for the move yet, but I'm sure that he should, use the name Death Rider. The lifting DDT by Moxley, which the move is called Paradigm Shift. Oh, but I guess in New Japan it's called Death Rider, but in AEW the Paradigm Shift. Okay, fair enough. Able to hit him with a Paradigm Shift, able to get the job done. 1, 2, 3, and then after the match, Kenny Omega strolls out with 2 barbed wire, a bat, and a broom. And I'm like, oh shit. I'm acting like I'm Booker T for a second. I'm like, oh, right? And he comes out with the shit. And then I'm like, okay, we about to see a fight. Someone's going to get hurt. So, and by the way, Pac was on commentary for that match between Spears and Moxley. Omega comes out with the bat. He throws the bat towards Moxley when he has the broom in hand. It's a cleaner versus the bat. And then Pac with a chair, like the pointy end of the chair at the top, he used that and he hit him in the back of the head, in Omega. And he walked away. He was like, there you go, Moxley, go ahead. Beat up Omega. There you go. I did you a favor. There you go. He's right there. He's there for the picking. Go ahead. And the Moxley's like, the fuck you doing? If I want to beat him up, I would do it myself. I did it last week. I put him through a glass table. Right? That's like the attitude I got from Moxley. He's like, what are you doing? If I want to do it, I can do it myself. I don't need your help. Fuck out of here. And then when Pac left, Moxley looked at Omega like he was just disappointed. And he dropped the bat and he walked away. And I'm like, well, good, fair enough. If you wanted to beat up Omega, do it yourself. Don't need anyone to do it for you. So they're obviously going to save that for their matchup at AEW Full Gear. Yeah, I almost fucked that up. Anyways, main event time on Dynamite is Jericho and Guevara taking on Dustin Rhodes and Hangman Page. A fun tag team main event match. It's a not generic, but it was a basic tag match. You know how they work. Heels obviously working over the baby faces, and then leading towards the end of the show, or the end of the match rather, baby faces were able to get the hot tag. Once they get the hot tag in, go on the frenzy, and then in the end, somehow the heels would prevail and get the win. And that was the situation here, because Dustin Rhodes, I believe, was in the frenzy. And then 2 times, Hager got involved in the match. First time, clotheslining Hangman Page on the outside. And then inside the ring. Now, I caught this, and I'm glad I wasn't the only one that picked this up, and I'm not afraid to criticize it. Hager clothesline or clubbing blow, like he hit down Dustin Rhodes, right? The referee, while he was dealing with Guevara, he looked back, he sees Dustin Rhodes leave the ring, and then he looks back at Guevara like, and then he gets up to his feet and he's like, what the fuck happened? I'm like, bro, you saw him leave the ring. What do you mean? Dustin's down and Hager left the ring. I know you saw what you saw. Come on. You can't be that dumb, but that was the case. That was just funny. I caught him so hard. I'm like, yo, what are you doing, referee? Come on now. You should have just waited. Damn. In the end of the match, Jericho waited for Dustin to get up to his feet. Judas Effect able to get the 1, 2, 3, second week in a row where the World Le Champion is standing tall. So we thought. And then Cody came through. The lights went out. This is the second time the lights went out throughout the show. First time was when Spears made his entrance. I thought the Dark Order was going to come out and beat up the Best Friends because based off their rivalry they had from, I believe, Fyter Fest all the way to now, I thought that feud was still going to go on, but no, not the case. And the second time was when Cody came through. Lights came out. Lights turned back on. Cody's in the ring. huge crowd pop for him, and he got Guevara, Crossroads, took down Guevara, and then he was about to beat up Jericho, then Santana Ortiz got involved, and then Jericho got, joined in the beatdown. Dustin Rhodes tried to save his brother, and was not the case there. 3-on-2 situation, and I believe MJF came through, and I'm like, oh shit, I didn't see this coming. MJF come through with a chair, looking to save his bestie Cody. Jericho was like, here you go. Here's your friend. Hit him. Go ahead. Come on. You know you want. Go on. You know you want. Go on. You know you want. Go on. Come on. And then MJF was like, nah. And he hit him. He hit Ortiz in the gut. He took out Santana. And Jericho ran away for a quick sec. And then MJF was just living in that moment of that babyface reaction. And then, while he was soaking it all in like MJF does, turn around, code breaker by Jericho. And then Jericho stands tall. And then the beatdown happened again, I believe. And then you had, who else you had? You had someone else come out. The Young Bucks came out. Young Bucks got involved. Jericho left the ring. Young Bucks were beating up on Santana and Ortiz. Jericho tried to leave, and then Darby Allin, like he's in the video game, the Skate 3 or Tony Hawk Underground. I don't know. He just skateboards his way. He kick, push, coast on the way, all the way towards the ring. He skateboarded his way down the aisle, dropped onto Jericho, and beat him up, used the skateboard like a steel chair, hit him on the back, and then he's standing tall, and Jericho got the microphone and said, you stupid idiots don't even know who you're dealing with. And Darby Allin next week, it's your funeral, bitch, and then dropped the mic as Cody and company stood tall, and the show comes to an end. AEW, I love you so much. Even though at times, I feel like it was up and down for me, but at times you still have my interest by the end of the show, and I can't wait for next week. Darby Allin versus Jericho for the AEW World Championship. Tag Team Title Tournament continues, and more. I can't wait. Alright. Now, we're going to talk about wrestling news and my thoughts on the draft. But first, we're going to talk about... I'm not talking about Total Divas. I refuse. I'm sorry. Why do I care about what? Carmella serving as the third wheel for Tyson Kidd and Natalya on Valentine's Day. Why would I give a damn? Why? Just tell me why. I don't. I'm sorry. Anyways. Former WWE SmackDown announcer Tom Phillips will make his NXT UK debut on the announce team, along with Nigel McGuinness. So it will be Nigel McGuinness and Tom Phillips, which is actually a nice duo, I'm not going to lie. Tom Phillips is good at commentary. Yeah, he was getting a bit annoying on SmackDown, I won't lie. But I would prefer Tom Phillips over Michael Cole. Even though I respect Cole, I prefer Cole to be like how he used to be back in the mid-2000s, but that's not going to happen. So Tom Phillips will be doing it with Nigel McGuinness moving forward on NXT UK, and I appreciate that. Now, I don't want to talk about the ratings here because I already mentioned it earlier in the review of AEW, but yeah, AEW drew 1.18 million viewers, while NXT drew 790,000 viewers on the USA Network. NXT topped Dynamite topped NXT by 29%. So there we go. AEW ranked 25 in the viewership, while NXT was ranked 33. Last week, AEW Dynamite premiered episode drew 1.409 million viewers and ranked second in cable, top 150 and 16 in viewership. So the audience was down 28%. NXT was down 11% from last week's season premiere, which drew 891,000 viewers and ranked 10 in cable in cable's top 150 and 27 and ranked number 27 in viewership. So nice. So yeah, it was 1 hour for NXT on the USA Network, so of course it would be in the millions. And then when it got to 2 hours, not the case now. Hopefully the third episode of AEW though will still be in the million. I don't want it to see go from million to then 900,000 to 800,000. I just hope that's not the case here. I really hope. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I watched NWA this week on Tuesday. I really appreciate it. I like the show a lot. It's really entertaining, honestly, if you ask me. WWE announces interesting rules and several celebrities for the 2019 WWE Draft. So, stars announced for the draft, including WrestleMania 35 stars of SNL, Michael, Shane, Colin, NFL legend Troy Aikman, there we go, MLB legend Alex Rodriguez, actor Christian Slater, and many others. What the fuck do they have to do with the WWE Draft? Why do they need to be on the show? Why? I don't get it. Anyways, WWE also announced the official rules for the 2019 draft. They noted that more than 70 superstars will be eligible for selection. SmackDown will draft 30 superstars, while Raw will draft 41. Every 2 picks SmackDown receives, Raw receives 3, just like the one in 2016. Because Raw is a 3-hour show, SmackDown will count as 1 pick unless Fox or USA decide to specifically pick 1 superstar out of the team. WWE will declare any undrafted superstars as free agents, and they'll be able to sign with brand of their choosing. This actually sounds a bit interesting, I won't lie. 2019 draft will begin on Friday in Las Vegas and wrap up on Monday in Denver. You can read the latest backstage report, blah blah blah. As noted, Friday Night SmackDown will open with Roman Reigns taking on Universal Champion Seth Rollins. Winner will receive the first overall draft pick for their brand, which I appreciate. Reigns will be representing the blue brand, while Rollins will be representing the red brand. The only match announced for Raw as of this writing is Viking Raiders taking on Robert Roode and Ziggler for the Raw tag titles on the line. So there you go. Wait. Star-studded celebrity lineup including Alex Rodriguez, Michael Che, and Colin Jost to take part in the draft. Other stars will also additional personalities scheduled to appear. Kevin Burkhardt and Frank Thomas, MLB Fox analysts. Terry Bradshaw, Howie Long, Jimmy Johnson, and Tony Gonzalez, Fox NFL Sunday. Ronde Barber, Charles Davis, Chris Spielman, and Daryl Johnson, NFL Fox analyst. Carissa Thompson, Michael Vick, and Peter Schrager at NFL Fox kickoff. Rob Stone, Brady, Jesus Christ, Brady Quinn, Reggie Bush, Matt Lennart, and Urban Meyer, Big Noon kickoff. So let me read that again. Rob Stone, Brady Quinn, Reggie Bush, Matt Lennart, and Urban Meyer, Big Noon kickoff. Joel Klatt, Fox College sport analyst. Dual Hills of USA Psych and Suits. James Rode from Psych, or Rade, okay. Marcus Lemonis, Jesus Christ, of The Prophet. Josephs and Melissa Gorga of Real House. Why do these people, what do they have to do with the show? Why are they there? Oh, I'm done reading this. I'm sorry. This gave me a headache. I don't care about the celebrities. Good. So, SmackDown gets 2, Raw gets 3, SmackDown gets 30, Raw gets 41. So, there you go. It's an odd number, 41, but okay. Backstage notes on WWE Draft. Paul Heyman reportedly wants 2 big names on the Red brand. Paul Heyman is reportedly fighting for Aleister Black to come to Raw from SmackDown and for The Fiend to stay on the Red brand. Fox officials, not specifically SmackDown's exclusive director Eric Bischoff, are said to be steadily pushing for Roman Reigns and SmackDown Women's Champion Charlotte Flair to stay on the brand. Black appeared on this week's Raw in a draft showcase match, defeating the Singh Bros in a handicap match. It was noted earlier by Dave Meltzer on the Wrestling Observer Radio that the draft picks will be announced by the representatives from Fox and USA Network. The idea is to make the 2019 draft as authentic as possible thanks to the new deals. New TV deals. Meltzer also confirmed that all major decisions regarding which superstars will be drafted have been decided on, but WWE is keeping the moves very quiet. As noted, Rollins and Roman will go at it one-on-one to determine a first overall draft pick, and that's pretty much it. So, Heyman wants Black and The Fiend on Monday Night Raw, which I don't blame him. The Fiend, if SmackDown is going to be a sports-orientated show, then it should remain a sports-orientated show. The Fiend is not really a sports-orientated thing on SmackDown. It's not made for that. It's a gimmick. It's like The Undertaker, kinda. You don't put The Undertaker on WWE TV in a sports-orientated show. You just don't. So, I don't know, but I just feel like The Fiend belongs on Raw. It does not feel like a SmackDown thing to me. Plus, SmackDown's already stacked. You already got Brock Lesnar there. I know you do. Stop lying. Stop lying to my face. Look at me, okay? You know damn well, after what you did last week, that 9-second blasphemy with Brock Lesnar and Kofi Kingston, Brock stays on SmackDown. The Fiend stays on Raw. There we go. By the way, I saw that WWE tweeted that Bray Wyatt and Seth was going to have a rematch from Hell in a Cell at Survivor Series, but then they quickly deleted it. So we'll see what's going to happen with that. So there's that with backstage news. Yeah, I just read that. Seth and Roman. Yep. Draft pools? What does that even mean? We'll see about that. Okay. WWE has announced the preliminary draft pool for the 2019. I can't read. I'm sorry. 2019 WWE Draft that kicks off on Friday Night SmackDowns from Las Vegas and it wraps up on Raw in Denver. Blah blah blah. WWE already announced the rules. Yeah, we get it now. I just said it. How many fucking times? Regarding the WWE Draft pools, several top stars will be eligible for selection on Friday and Monday night. Stars like Becky Lynch, The Fiend, Bray Wyatt, Big Dog, Roman Reigns, The OC, Sasha Banks, Street Profits, and others will be eligible on Friday. Stars like Universal Champion Seth Rollins, WWE Champion Brock Lesnar, New Day, Daniel Bryan, AOP, Aleister Black, and others will be eligible on Monday, not Raw. Okay. So we'll see about that. So, SmackDown and Raw are officially on the clock. The draft pools have been determined and designated which superstars are available for selection on each night. So, on SmackDown, we got Lynch, Reigns, OC, Fiend, McIntyre, Randy Orton, Sasha Banks, Ricochet, Braun Strowman, Bobby Lashley, Bliss and Cross, Lacey Evans, the Viking Raiders collectively. SmackDown Tag Team Champions, The Revival, The Street Profits, The Lucha House Party, all three of them. Cesaro, Kevin Owens, Humberto Carrillo, Akira Tozawa, Sin Cara, EC3, Eric Young, Chad Gable, Heath Slater, Drew Gulak, the B Team collectively, and Tamina. On Raw, you got the Universal Champion Seth Rollins, WWE Champion Brock Lesnar, SmackDown Women's Champion Charlotte Flair. Why? But okay. Titles for Neo. Intercontinental Champion Sami Zayn. Shinsuke Nakamura with Sami Zayn. Aleister Black. New Day. All three of them. Daniel Bryan. Bayley. Luke Harper. Eric Rowan. The Miz. Ali. King Corbin. Elias. Raw Tag Champions Ziggler and Bobby Roode. Yeah, it says Bobby Roode, but Robert Roode. Samoa Joe. Women's Tag Team Champions The Kabuki Warriors. Asuka and Kairi Sane. Rusev. Cedric Alexander. Rey Mysterio, R-Truth, Carmella, AOP, Heavy Machinery, Apollo Crews, Andrade, Cien Almas, Liv Morgan, Jinder Mahal, Buddy Murphy, Mojo Rawley, No Way Jose, who gives a shit. Anyway, Dana Brooke, Shelton Benjamin, Kurt Hawkins, and Zack Ryder, the Major Bros, Iconics, Sarah Logan, Fire and Desire, Drake Maverick for Monday on Raw. So, I don't know how I feel about this. We'll just wait and see what happens with that. And I'm going to end the show here with Vin Diesel saying fans will be blown away by John Cena's performance in Fast 9. I don't know why earlier today I said Fast 7. I keep up with these freaking movies anyway. I just don't care. I'm sorry. I haven't watched a Fast movie since the Fast 5 with The Rock when he first debuted in it, I think. So after that, I just stopped caring. I really did. I mean, I never cared before, but I'm just saying. I've seen Tokyo Drift. Fine movie, but I'm not really a big fan of it either way. Anyways, John Cena joined the cast back in June. It was announced. Vin Diesel praised Cena in a video in Instagram. You can go check it out. Week 16, Fast 9, and it truly is a Jordana Brewster says a bittersweet moment because someone who I've had the great pleasure of working with. John Cena is finally filming his last day, said Vin Diesel. I have to tell you, when you see him in this movie, when you see his character come to life, you'll be blown away. You're going to be ecstatic about what he has contributed to this saga. I'm so proud of him, I can't even put it into words. Putting over John Cena is Vin Diesel. And by the way, I heard that Vin Diesel and The Rock, apparently they had a beef and now they're cool now, which is smart for Vin Diesel. I don't know. I just saw it on freaking, news headlines and shit. I'm like, oh, okay, fair enough. I guess so. Yeah, so John Cena getting praised, and I guess he did very well in rehearsal and filming the shit for Fast 9. So let's see what's going to happen now. John Cena with his different hairstyles each month. Anyways, I think that's it. I think that's all I can speak of, man. Now, I am going to rant on Monday Night Raw because it can't be a normal 7 Days podcast without me ranting on something, right? So, Monday Night Raw had a weak-ass episode, okay? It had a very weak episode. You had freaking people that you just don't give a shit about on the show. Tyson Fury and Braun Strowman. Now, my thoughts on this is that I wanted to see Tyson Fury knock the shit out of Braun Strowman. Want to know why? Because Braun Strowman, to me, is dead. He's done. I just don't care. I really don't. What's the point? Braun Strowman? Who? I don't know. But yeah, that's how I feel about Braun Strowman. But the way how the show started, I did not like it how it started. When it started, I'm like, why? I want to see Pyro. What are you doing? Why am I seeing these? I just don't care. I just don't care. Oh my god, I don't care. You had Rusev fighting Orton and Corbin, and then you got Lashley with the robe, and then Rusev's bed, and look at the smash Lana on camera, and then people making more memes of porn websites. It's just ridiculous. I'm tired. Right? I just don't want to see it anymore. I'm done with this shit. And I want to say that WWE are cowards. Yes, they are. They're puss. They're cowards. They made a bad move at Hell in the Cell, and I'll still look to this day. I'll still say that bad move. You built the Fiend up all these months, teasing, plotting, all this shit, and then you finally go with him facing Seth. We've all been very excited about the match. We were all excited for it, and what do? You have the match. The match was at the beginning was great. You have the camera inside the cell being used. You had lights, the red lighting, like it was a fucking prison. Like it was Seth Rollins' own personal hell against the Fiend. It was perfect. And then what did you do? Seth Rollins starting to gain momentum in the match, starting to gain more control in the match, and then Seth Rollins got weapons and then used it on the Fiend, and then by the time it got to the toolbox, I'm like, okay, this is ridiculous. What the hell's going on here? Right? You can watch my reaction. It speaks for itself. I'm just sitting there like, in my head, I'm like, what are you doing? So, you had the Fiend get his ass beaten up. Okay. Then you got Rollins with the toolbox, smashing it with the ladder and the chair, beating the shit. Now, I get it. Seth Rollins' mentality was to survive. It wasn't really about, just retain the title and just leave. No, it was about to survive. I get that. But the way how they just went about it was just so fucking trash. I hate it. Fucking hate it. So we all know what happened, right? You got the sledgehammer, by the grace of Triple H, you get to use the sledgehammer, and then he smashed it, even though the referee said don't to. He did it. Referee called for the bell. Match ended. Jesus Christ. And what does WWE do the next night? Did they let Seth Rollins come out and explain his actions? No. Did they even explain what happened? No. They did the most cowardice thing I've ever seen. They didn't even mention the fucking thing until the third hour. And when it was the third hour, it was literally just about a 5-minute clip of what happened at Hell in a Cell between The Fiend and Seth Rollins. And then what did you do? You had Seth Rollins not even show up on the show. The Fiend didn't show up on the show. The Fiend had a freaking dark situation, a dark segment after the show with Cesaro. So that's already a red flag right there. You don't mention The Fiend at all, don't mention Seth Rollins at all until that short clip that you showed on Raw. And then that was it. And then you show on Tyson Fury and Braun Strowman having a brawl later on in their segment. They killed the appeal of The Fiend to me. I really believe that. Yeah, they can have a rematch. Am I going to feel the same way that I should have felt at Hell in a Cell? No, I'm not. I'm sorry. I just can't. I love the WWE. You can tell that I'm a big-ass fucking mark for this shit. But at the same time, dude, if I don't like something, I'm not afraid to tell you to your face, I don't like it. And I'm not afraid to say so. I don't care about backlash when it comes to things I don't fucking like. And honestly, this shit on Raw, from top to bottom, literally there's barely anything I liked on Raw this week. I think the only thing I liked was the women's tag team match. That's it. Even though that didn't have anything at all. I just like seeing Asuka and Kairi Sane being taken seriously or being on TV, period. Because for the majority of the year, since Kairi Sane came up to SmackDown or came up to the main roster, they barely or none at all been on TV. So, I'm not afraid to say it, okay? I didn't care about Last Woman Standing between Natalya and Lacey Evans. I didn't care about that. I should have, but I don't, because what are they fighting for? What are they feuding for? Nothing. I don't care. There's nothing there that I care about. The Viking Raiders. Okay, I care about this one a little bit, because at least the Viking Raiders have been undefeated on Raw. They've barely lost, or not at all, actually. Not at all. Lost a tag team match. And they beat the tag champs, and now they're getting a tag title shot on the next episode of Raw, which is the draft episode. So, I appreciate that, and I like that, even though they beat the champions, which in some ways that's wrong. You shouldn't have done that. You should have saved that for next week, which, anyways. And then you had Black in a 2-on-1 handicap match. It was cool to see Aleister Black, but this was a waste of time, honestly. It was, but whatever. If they built up Apollo Crews, by the way, if they let Apollo Crews wrestle on Raw or SmackDown and let him win match after match after match, then maybe people would have took him a bit more seriously, and then maybe people would have been more invested in a match between him and Ricochet, because honestly, the way how those two can go in the ring, it would be a great match. But sadly, it was a good little match with nothing on the line. No one really cared about it anyway. The crowd didn't really pop for it, so I can't say much. And I think that's it. And then the show ended with Tyson Fury and fuckery. So, there you go. He's like, oh, Braun Strowman. Oh, Tyson Fury's a tough son of a bitch, but I dare him to go in my ring and disrespect me in my house. Oh, shut up. Just shut up. You got bitched out by how many people? You got kicked off a Royal Rumble pay-per-view because you were about to be in a Universal title match and they kicked you off. They traded you for Finn Balor, right? You got bitched out by Brock Lesnar how many times on pay-per-view? So why do I even want to take you seriously to begin with? How many times you had Universal title shots and you lost it all? Fuck off, Strowman. Honestly. So, that's all I got to say about that. Nothing. I didn't watch NXT yet. I'm going to watch it very, very soon. And that's all I got to say. So, leave your comments down below if you enjoyed this week's 7-Day podcast. Man, I had a lot to talk about this week. I had to get my thoughts out there. If you guys can, please leave a thumbs up on this video. Like, subscribe, follow me on social media. Links are in the description box below. Your boy's been on the grind as of late. I hope you know that. I've been posting videos almost every day. Like, it's crazy. So, hope you guys enjoy it. Enjoy the content on the channel. Hope you guys can see a lot of effort coming out of your boy here. And yeah, that's all I got to say about that. Like, subscribe, and I'm out. Later.